What if I told you the few hours you spent on your screen yesterday, whether on your phone, tablet, or laptop, actually felt longer to your brain than an entire week? Sounds ridiculous, right? But neuroscience has uncovered something shocking. Your brain processes screen time differently than real time. The experiment: where did your time go? Let's try something. 1. Check your screen time from yesterday. Write down the number. 2. Now, try to recall anything specific you saw or did on your smartphone for longer than a minute. Can you remember? How did all those minutes and hours add up? It feels like they vanished into thin air, right? Like they were swallowed by some parallel reality where time moves differently. For decades, scientists believed they had a solid understanding of how humans perceive time. The old model was simple. When you're engaged in something interesting, time flies. When you're bored, time drags. That's why everyone assumed screen time felt fast, because it's entertaining. But the numbers weren't adding up. How your brain perceives time. Researchers at Stanford University noticed a strange pattern. People weren't just losing track of time on their phones, they were experiencing time in a fundamentally different way than in any other human activity. Different from watching TV, different from reading books, even different from playing video games. And the reason is how your brain tracks time itself. Your brain doesn't actually have a clock. Instead, it creates your sense of time by chaining together focused moments, like links in a chain. Each clear, distinct experience becomes a memory, helping your brain gauge how much time has passed. But that's not what happens when you're on your phone. The evolution of time perception. This system evolved over millions of years when humans lived in a much simpler world. Our ancestors needed to remember key survival details like where they found food, which plants were poisonous, how to get back to shelter. To survive, the brain optimized itself for clarity and focus. But social media and modern apps have broken this system. Platforms like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and Facebook are designed for something completely different. Micro-attention, the new digital addiction. Instead of focusing on something for minutes or hours, your brain now switches attention every few seconds. Every swipe, every notification, every new image, every like, every comment, each one fragments your attention into smaller and smaller pieces. Neuroscientists discovered something mind-blowing. It takes your brain over 20 seconds to fully process a new piece of information. The average person switches attention on their phone every 6 to 8 seconds. Your brain never gets to complete its processing cycle. It's like trying to take a photo while constantly shaking the camera. Temporal fragmentation, the hidden cost of scrolling. This phenomenon is called temporal fragmentation. Your perception of time gets shattered into tiny, incomplete pieces. Think of it like this. Normal memories are like full photographs, clear, distinct, and easy to recall. Phone time creates thousands of blurry exposures that never fully develop into real memories. Want proof? Let's try one more experiment. First, think about your last vacation. You can probably remember conversations, meals, and emotions, clear moments in time. Now try to remember what you looked at during your last scrolling session. Even if you spent hours on your phone, it's like trying to remember a dream. Your brain has 3 ways of handling experiences. First, there's active processing. This creates clear memories, builds neural pathways, and makes time feel real. Then we have passive processing. This creates hazy or no memories, making time feel empty. Finally, there's fragmented processing. This is the new state invented by social media, where your brain constantly starts but never finishes the memory formation cycle. This is why young adults today are experiencing something unusual, the young aging effect. Why time feels faster every year. People in their 20s and 30s are now feeling time speeding up, something that used to only happen to the elderly. Why? Because our brains process time through memories. And when you create fewer strong memories, time feels like it's slipping away. Think about kids born after 2010. They are the first humans in history growing up with fragmented attention as their default state. Their brains are literally developing differently than any generation before them. We're already seeing the effects: rising ADHD diagnoses, increasing anxiety, memory issues in young people, difficulty with focus and sustained attention, and distorted time perception, all perfectly tracking with smartphone and social media adoption. But there's good news. You can reclaim your time. Your brain hasn't lost the ability to process time normally. Think of it like a conversation. Imagine talking to someone, but they interrupt you every 6 seconds. Eventually, you stop trying to complete your thoughts. This is exactly what's happening with your attention, but you can reverse it, not by quitting your phone, but by using it differently. Temporal bookends, the hack to take back your time. Instead of letting your brain constantly reset, use temporal bookends, a strategy from neuroscience that lets your brain fully complete its attention cycles. Here's how. Pick 3 specific videos to watch instead of endlessly scrolling. Set a goal to read exactly 5 posts instead of getting lost in the feed. Give yourself 15 minutes of focused messages instead of checking notifications all day. What happens next is remarkable. Time starts feeling normal again. Your days feel richer, fuller, and more memorable. You actually remember your week instead of losing it to the digital void. How to use your phone differently without quitting cold turkey. This isn't just about time management. It's about reclaiming your actual lived experience. Because time isn't just passing, it's being experienced. Or in the case of phone time, not being experienced at all. Your phone isn't just consuming hours, it's rewiring how you process reality. But now that you understand the mechanism, you can take back control, not just of your schedule, but of time itself. Final thought, the 6-second warning. If this changed how you think about time, share it with someone whose life might be slipping away 6 seconds at a time. Sometimes understanding why is the first step to changing what. Subscribe for more insights like this, and let me know in the comments. Do you actually remember what you consumed on the internet yesterday?